Welcome back. In this presentation, we will be learning lesson number 1 distributional maps module 2. Before proceeding for the lesson number 1 distributional maps module 2, let's recap what we have studied in previous module 1. You all know that a map is a visual representation of an area, whether real or imaginary. Map is drawn on a flat piece of paper that represents an area of the Earth's surface. On the basis of the use of maps, we can say that the aim of map is to show the location of a place. Map contains lot of information. So, elements of map help us to understand the map contains or information. Elements of map such as title, subtitle, arrow indicating direction, scale strip and legend. Also, we have studied about a thematic map. Thematic maps are useful to show the distribution of variables such as rainfall, temperature, population in the region.
As you all know that in our previous module 1 we have studied that variables are useful to show or explain the geographical distribution. So here we have variables such as temperature, rainfall and population.
Also, we have studied about distributional map. The aim of distributional map is to show the features of an area. This distribution can be shown in the three following ways. They are dot method, choropleth method and isophleth method. As you all know that there are three methods of distribution map. They are dot method, choropleth method and isophleth method. So in the previous module 1 we have studied about dot method map and choropleth method map. In dot method we have studied that dots are used to show the distribution of a particular variable as per the way a variable is distributed throughout the region. Dot maps are most suitable for that variable which is freely scattered across the region. The size of a dot showing a same value is kept uniform, whereas in a choropleth method map, the data regarding various geographical variables is shown by shades or tint of various colors. In a choropleth method, smallest and the largest values of the given data in a region are taken into consideration. So, in lesson number 1 distributional map module 2, we will take more information about choropleth method map. Also, we will learn about isophleth method map. Also, we will be learning about field visit. In field visit, we will take information about the meaning of field visit, advantages of field visit, importance of field visit, what preparation must be made before going on field visit, which precautions are to be taken while selecting the study area, what materials we need to carry during a field visit, which precautions are to be taken during field visit and stages included in report writing. Let's take more information about choropleth method map. As you all know that the statistical data used for this variable is obtained through various processes such as measurement and surveying. So, in this given map, density of population is a variable. As you can see in the map, density of population per square kilometer is a statistical data. In this map, The smallest and the largest values of the given data in a region are taken into consideration. After that, 5 to 7 class intervals are made, such as density of population more than 400, density of population between 301 to 400, density of population between 201 to 300, density of population between 101 to 200, and then lowest values is less than 100. So each class is assigned a unique tint of the same color. The shades or the patterns become darker with the shades, or the patterns become darker with the increasing values of a given variable. Let's observe the map. Here we have chlorophyll method map of density of population of Amravati district. In A map, color tints are used to show statistical data, whereas in B map, black and white patterns are used to show statistical data of density of population in per square kilometer. The shades or the pattern become darker with the increasing values of the given variable and are drawn accordingly on the map in the given classification. So, here we have the classification of density of population in per square kilometer, such as more than 400, density of population between 301 to 400, density of population between 201 to 300, then density of population between 101 to 200, and then we have less than 100. So in this map various information are shown. Let's take more information in detail. Here we have Amravati and Achalpur. So Amravati and Achalpur talukas have density greater than 400. Anjangaon Surji taluka has density between 301 to 400, whereas Chandur Bazar, Morshi, Varud, Daryapur and Dharni have density of population between 201 to 300. Then Bhatkuli, Nangaon Khandeshwar, Chandur Railway, Tiusa and Dhamangaon Railway have density of population between 101 to 200, whereas Chikaldara has the lowest density, it is less than 100. In contour map and isobar maps, distribution are shown with the help of lines showing equal values when the distribution of a variable is continuous. For example, altitude, temperature, rainfall, etc. This isoflex method is used to show its distribution.
Students, you all know that as we have studied that variables such as temperature, rainfall and population are useful to explain geographical variable. So, in isoflex method map, to show the distribution, variables are used such as temperature, rainfall and altitude. So here Altitude means the height above the sea level.
Isoflate method maps simplify the information about a region by showing area with continuous distribution. As you can see in the map, this map is about Amravati district average annual rainfall. For this, it is assumed that the difference between the altitude or rainfall of two places changes at a uniform rate. Here, the distribution is shown with the help of lines showing equal values. These lines are called isolines. Here, statistical data such as average annual rainfall belongs to the respective places known as point related data. Characteristics of isoflate method map. Isoflate method map is an effective method to show distribution and variation. It is also suited for showing climatic elements. Isoflate method map. In isoflate method map, values of the variables are written on the map at their respective location. If the data for more place is available, mapping of the distribution can be done more accurately on the basis of the information. Isoflate method map prepared using the steps such as highest and lowest values and lines. Let's take more information about highest and lowest values and lines. Highest and lowest values. By considering the highest and lowest values of the variables, the class interval is decided, which in turn decide the difference between the line. Here, the highest value is 1300 millimeter, whereas the lowest value is 800 millimeter. Next we have lines. Lines are drawn for decided intervals. Here you can see that the location with the same values are joined by lines. If the lines are closer to each other, the changes in the variable is steep, and if the lines are away from each other, then it is gentle. Let us understand the map. Here we have Amravati district average annual rainfall. The rainfall is maximum in the northern part of this map. It is around 1300 millimeter. Rainfall decreases from north to south. The lowest value of the rainfall is 800 millimeter. Student, let's observe the map. Here we have map of population. This is a chlorophyll method map. Let us try to understand. Map is showing the rural population of the Kolhapur district. Density is more than 400 per square kilometer over the center and the eastern part of the region, decreasing to less than 200 per square kilometer in the extreme north and south. Shahuwadi, Gaganbauda, Ajra and Chandragarh have density less than 200 per square kilometer. Radhanagari and Gargoti have density between 201 and 400 per square kilometer, whereas Panhala, Hatkalangle, Shirol, Kolhapur, Kagal and Gadhinglaj in the center and the east have the higher density of population more than 400 per square kilometer. Students, let's observe the another map. As you all know that this map shows the average annual rainfall in Kolhapur district. Let's see in detail about the map. This map is an isoflate map. Rainfall is maximum in the western part of the region. It is 2400 millimeter. It decreases eastwards. to 6000 millimeter. 6000 millimeter is the lowest rainfall and 2400 millimeter is the highest rainfall in this region. Now let's take information about field visit. Field visit is an important study method in geography subject. Geographical concepts and elements can be directly experienced through field visit. Let's study the meaning of field visit. Collecting geographical and cultural information by actually paying a visit to a particular place is known as field visit. So, here the word geographical refers to soil, climate, landforms, whereas the word cultural means historical background and social lifestyle of the people. So, through field visit, personally we can go and collect the information such as soil, climate, landform, historical background and social lifestyle of the particular area. Therefore, our definition is a collecting geographical and cultural information by actually paying a visit to a particular place is known as field visit. Advantage of field visit. Field visit provide an opportunity to visit various places. It creates interest and curiosity among students. We can directly experience about particular place. So when we are experiencing about a particular region, we are getting a first-hand information which is always a reliable.
Here we have the importance of field visit. The importance of field visit such as field visit is an important study method in geography subject. Geographical concepts and elements can be directly experienced through field visit. Field visits are extremely useful to understand the correlation between humans and environment. Now, let's discuss in detail. Field visit is an important study method in geography subject. Field visit, also known as educational trip, it helps us to bridge up the gap between education and hand-on experience. So, during field visit, it is very easy to learn various geographical aspects. Also, we are getting opportunity to visit and collect information personally. Then we have geographical concept and element can be directly experienced through field visit. So, here geographical concept and elements such as landforms, soil and climate. So, during field visit, personally we are getting chance to collect knowledge and information about that particular place or the region. So student, always remember when we are collecting any information personally, so it is always reliable. Then we have the last one. Field visits are extremely useful to understand the correlation between humans and environment. So during field visit we can able to correlate human and environment. Let's take one example to understand. Suppose if you are visiting a hill station and seashore to study the difference in a climatic condition between them. So here when we are visiting hill station, so we can correlate the lifestyle, the food habit and the costume of the people those are staying in that particular place. So as all of you know that our climatic condition, the environmental condition always affect to the human life.
Preparation of field visit. Before going for the field visit, we need to do certain preparation. It includes schedule, deciding the place and purpose, collecting essential documents, preparing questionnaire as per the purpose of the field visit. Now, let's see in detail. Schedule. Schedule includes about day, date, and time for the field visit. Deciding the place and purpose. Deciding the place includes about the location, distance, transportation route, means of transportation and duration, whereas the purpose include deciding the place as per the aim and learning objectives of field visit. Then collecting essential documents. Collecting essential document includes collecting necessary permission letter from the resource person. Let's take one example. Suppose if we are planning to visit a sugar factory, then we need to collect permission letter of the owner of sugar factory allowing a visit to a factory. Then we have preparing questionnaire as per the purpose of the field visit. Preparing a questionnaire includes a set of questions. This set of questions help us to gather more information about a selected place. Geographical field visit is organized for study of various elements. Here we have some examples such as agriculture, forest area, museum, industry and forest. Another examples such as dam, coastal area, river banks. So, such element should be selected after studying the local condition and necessary permission letters had to be obtained. Essential materials. During a field visit, we need to carry some materials with us such as notebook, pen and pencil, scale, camera, compass, maps, specimen questionnaire, bag for collecting samples. Let's take more information about essential materials. Here you can see pen, pencil and notebook, compass and camera. So we require pen, pencil and notebook for writing the information. Compass to know the direction of that particular place. Camera to take the photographs of that particular region or the area. Then here we have first aid box, map and bag. As you all are aware that first aid box we require for our safety measures, map to know the location and bag to collect the various samples which are available in that particular place. Precautions during field visit. Precaution must be taken during field visit. They are ensure safety of oneself and others, obey the instructions given by teachers, do not go to unknown place, ensure not to harm the environment and do not forget to carry first aid box. Let's see in detail. We must keep in mind that it is very important to ensure safety of ourselves and others during field visit. We must obey the instruction given by our teachers. We must not go to unknown remote places alone. Before going, we should take permission from the teachers. We must be careful to see that we do not harm the environment in any way during our field visit. We must always keep the first aid box with us to deal with emergencies. Report writing. A field report should be written on the basis of information obtained after the field visit is complete. Along with the information, photograph must be added in the field report. Report writing. Report writing includes the following elements such as introduction, location map and route map, physiography, climate, environmental problems and measures, land utilization and conclusion. Let's recap. Student, so far in this module 2, we have studied about chlorophyll method and isoflake method. In chlorophyll method, we have studied that in this type of map, The data regarding various geographical variable is denoted by shades or tint of different colors. The data is obtained by process of measurement and surveying, etc. The smallest and the largest values of given data of variables are considered. 5 or 7 classes are made and each class is assigned a tint of the same color or black and white pattern. The shades or the pattern become darker with the increasing values of the given variable. In isoflex method map, we have studied that when the distribution of a variable is continuous, the isoflex method is used to show the distribution such as altitude, temperature and rainfall. In this case, it is very important to obtain the accurate data regarding altitude, temperature and rainfall of the some places in the same region. It is assumed that the difference between the altitude or rainfall of two places changes at a uniform rate. Lines are drawn for the decided intervals. Locations with the same value are joined by a line. If the lines are nearer to each other, then the variable is stiff. If the lines are far away, then it is gentle. This map gives us an idea of a natural trend of the distribution of the variables. Also, we have studied about field visit. In field visit, we have studied that collecting geographical and cultural information by actually paying a visit to a particular place is called field visit. Then we studied about the advantages of field visit. Advantages of field visit is that directly or personally we can collect information from the selected place, so such kind of information is always reliable. Field visits are extremely useful in order to understand the correlation between humans and environment. During field visit, we need to carry some essential materials such as pen, pencil, notebook, camera, compass, map, first aid box and bag to collect sample. Before going on a field visit, we must decide the place and purpose of the visit. We must study the location map and the route map of the place to be visited. The distance, transport route, means of transport and the duration of field visit must be planned ahead. We also studied that we must take precautions during field visit. We must keep in mind that it is important to ensure safety of ourselves and others during field visit. Then we studied about a report writing. A field report should be written on the basis of information obtained after the visit is complete. Along with information, photograph must be added in the field report. Report writing include introduction, location map and the route map, physiography, climatic condition, environmental problem and measures. Also at the end we need to write conclusion related report writing.